Hello and welcome. I'm Mary Lou Coombe from Orchestrate Coaching and Consulting. And today I have the amazing Frances Peterson from Healing Vibrations here to talk to us about all things healing, but in particular, how we can apply energy work, understanding our kids through different modalities, which I'll get Frances to introduce herself in a moment. But how can all these stuff help us in our family life, help us understand our children, and help us thrive, really. I'm just going to do my own little intro really quickly because I just love this woman. I've known her for a little while. I love her work, what you present into the world, Frances, and what you teach, and your heart just shines bright. And I'm just so grateful for you. And we've journeyed just recently together, growing the space with youth mentoring because we're both quite passionate about helping as many young people as possible in their families just understand themselves, understand each other, and just create a better space for young people in general, really. So, hello and welcome, Frances. And I'll just get you to tell us a little bit about yourself and all the modalities that
Thank
you use. Yeah.
modalities. Yeah. Thank you, Mary Lou. Thank you for that introduction. Hi, I'm Frances Peterson from Healing Vibrations, and I'm a vibrational and energy medicine healer, and I'm a soul mentor. And I've been working in the field of energy medicine and holistic health for over 20 years. So I was led into energy healing way back in 1998 when 1999 when my third child, my youngest son, wouldn't sleep, and somehow I got led to uh, finding Reiki as a way of supporting him to, attune, come back to a more balanced body and to actually sleep. So that was my journey, but I was always interested in vibrational medicine. I was interested in the energy of water. So I was already being directed in some shape or form. So I've been supporting women for, well, I suppose the last 20 years in helping them to clarify their next steps, to understand what is blocking them, what patterns within them may be preventing them from finding their next steps. And I've now recently, and during the time of COVID and restrictions and lockdowns, was called to supporting teens because I came to the understanding that teens are really needing holistic health now because of the higher levels of anxiety they're feeling. There's more suicidal thoughts, and there's more suicides. And I come from my family background where one of my brothers, I came from a family of 7, one of my brothers was depressed from early in his teens. And when he was around 26, I believe, he tried to commit suicide. And yeah, he has since passed in his 40s, but I had such an empathy for him, and I know that my parents were struggling with any kind of understanding or holistic understanding of how to support him other than medication, and that didn't support him either. So that led to addictions with alcohol, etc. So I have such a great compassion and empathy for our young people. And over the last, I think it's 5 years now, I've been studying Chinese medicine in terms of the wisdom of the 5 principles or the 5 elements of nature, which when we look at people's faces, we can actually understand that there's a blueprint to how we're made. So I went on to learn how to read people's faces with the 5 elements, and also to read people's birth dates, and then give them an understanding of who they truly are on the inside, and that we actually have innate gifts and talents that we were born with, that when we come to understand them early enough, we can move towards our truest potential. But then I'm also helping parents understand their children, that this is who their child is, that they've come in with this amazing blueprint, and that they may have an expectation of where they want their child to go in life. But when they come to understand that this is your child, this is their blueprint, this is the way they process emotionally, they can then learn new skills of supporting their children. And then if they know that this is what your child is gifted in, such as if a child has what we call the element of earth predominant in their nature, that child's going to be wanting to be in service. And so they may lean towards being in hospitality or real estate or anything that relates to the earth. If that child's very emotional, that child's going to experience a lot more fear. And yet that child is born with an innate sense of deep wisdom and intuition, and they have to learn to trust that. But then emotionally, they may have more of a feeling of abandonment or fear of abandonment and not being wanting to be left alone. So children have, we all have 5 elements within us, the water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. But then there may be 1 or 2 predominant patterns that kind of can be reflected through how we, naturally see the world and how we are seen by other people. So once we understand that, have a truer understanding of what makes us tick, then we can navigate life more easily. So that's kind of what I do in a nutshell.
I love it, absolutely love it. And I've been very blessed to have a session with you and have a reading for myself, which really helped me propel and, kind of focus on my gift. Like I'd been hiding that, and you really helped me kind of, it's almost like a little gentle kick up the butt of Mary Lou. This is, this is you. This is in your profiling. Why aren't you doing that?
Yeah.
So that was really, really, really powerful. And I would love to understand how parents can come, like when they come to you, what do they come with? And then how can you help them,
Yeah.
for themselves and then for their child?
Right. Well, I created a 7-session program called Thriving Teens. And in the first session, I connect with the parent, and the child can come as well. So I'm predominantly working with children aged around 13 to 20. And now I think I'm broadening that to maybe 25, because I've learned from Mary Lou during some recent youth mentoring coaching that, they're still kind of children, they don't become adults till a lot later than what I expected. So I connect with the parent, come to an understanding of what the issue is that their teen has, and then we kind of see if that teen is happy to work with me, because if there's a barrier to that, if they're not open to accepting holistic or alternative support, then we're not going to get anywhere. So that's the first step. And so then once that teen decides, yes, I'm happy to work with Frances, the first session is with the parent helping. I give what I call a divine blueprint reading, which is based on the Chinese medicine, to the parent, and I say, here, it's like I'm introducing the parent to the child. This is your teen. This is why they get emotional. They may experience anger because of this pattern, or they may experience fear because of this, or they may come across controlling because of this pattern, or they may be like ADHD, or because they need to be doing certain things, short tasks in shorter spaces of time. So then if their child's been given a label, which that tends to be the way of the world at the moment, many teens and young children get labels of autism, ADHD. Well, in Chinese medicine, we know what is beneath that, and it's just a label. So then once I give that reading to the parent, then they'll say, okay, my child's not ADHD. It's just a child that's really curious and passionate about life and wants to do things in smaller stages, and may have projects all around the house. But that's okay. If we cater to that, then that child won't feel rejected. So they have that reading, they've got that recording, then the teen comes in for the next session, and then I do the same thing. But I also give them an understanding, this is your parents' patterns, and that's why maybe sometimes there's a bit of clash and conflict, so that they understand each other. So the parent understands the child, but also understands their patterns. And then I do the reverse of that the second session. And then if they're coming, for instance, with social anxiety, which is predominant, it's that seems to be the number one issue. Then the next sessions are based on supporting them to overcome that anxiety, see where it's coming from. And I do have a range of modalities. Reiki is the first beautiful, supportive, gentle form of healing, which is hands hands-on and also hands-off the body as well, which introduces the teen to what energy work is really about. But it's simple but very profound changes can come from that. And then there's fast EFT, which is a tapping process on the meridian points of the body. Many people are starting to learn about that. So I empower the teen to be able to do that in between, and also know that they're, even though I'm working with them and doing energy work with them, they can actually take something away and do something for themselves.
That is so empowering. That is so
Yeah,
empowering because they're not really coming just to rely on you. They're taking that home and they can use it anytime they need to. That's the
absolutely.
beautiful thing about this work, isn't it? It's like
Yeah,
all within, and it's just like we're just the that facilitator, or that
that's it.
planting that seed and just showing them, giving
Yeah.
them these tools, and then it's up to them to go and apply it. That is
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a number of modalities. Forensic healing is a kinesiology based, so we communicate with the teen's body. The body holds all the memories in the cells. So that we, do a process where I ask certain questions. What age did this happen? And the body actually tells us then what healings. So there's about 110, maybe more now, protocols that we can call on. So that's a fabulous form of healing.
And
One of
children
the
think that's
last,
quite magical, don't they? Like that is a bit
yeah,
of a
they
magical
do.
tool.
It is. And one of the last healings that I do with the teen is the sound healing. So I've got a range of sound healing instruments. I call it the medicine of the future, even though it's ancient. I've got tuning forks that I work with that if that teen is working on anxiety or confidence or needing support to finding their direction. There's certain protocols I'd use with tuning forks, and I've got beautiful Tibetan bowls, crystal bowls, drums. So it's just a beautiful pampering session, really, where they just get to chill out totally. Each of the sessions really are very supportive for them to relax. I also record a meditation for them to take home and be able to work with that as well. So introducing them to
Wonderful.
the benefits of meditation. And then the last session is with the parent, and then we review what's happened with their teen. Is everything good? Do they need ongoing support? Yeah, and so far I've had 3 teens go through this program, and very successfully. So, and I love doing it. I love working with young people.
Oh, I just love what you're teaching our children. Do you find as well? This is from my own experience, and just wondering whether you find this that children are quite open to this, and it's almost like they've got an innate knowledge that they've brought with them about it. So even though they might start these sessions and go, "This is a bit weird,"
Yeah.
they're just so open to it in comparison to, say, working with an adult who might take a
Yeah.
little while, who's never been, you get a child, you get an adult who's never been exposed to the holistic way in which you work,
Yeah.
but the child just gets it a lot quicker and kind of is open to it a lot more. Do you find that?
I do, because I believe our children, and each generation has, more open, energetic gifts anyway. But
Yeah.
I suppose maybe, I need to look at helping younger children again. And I have actually done sessions with younger ones, but I just felt at this time compelled to support the teens. But yeah, they've come from wherever we came from originally, so they're still, it's still within them. They haven't had it totally conditioned out.
Yeah.
But I agree that I feel our young people are a little bit more switched on and open than maybe generations
Or
past.
even even our teens, absolutely. I feel like they're just so much more open to it and just know how to work with energy once, like one
Yeah,
session, and they get it. They
yeah,
kind of are just open to it.
yeah,
Yeah, that
absolutely.
is wonderful. That is
Mm.
absolutely wonderful. So, with the 7 sessions, that's not a workshop per se. This is individual with each child, right?
It is,
That
yes.
parent can come to you.
Now we can do it on Zoom, but I know a lot of kids, was zoomed out after being in, in the COVID lockdowns.
Yes.
But so it is one-on-one. They can come to me, or they can do it via Zoom. So, and I feel our young people need more of that tactile approach as well. I think that in person, there's a dire need in all of us, I think, for touch, and
That
so the
connection.
Yeah, energy medicine is just beautiful. So, and the response I get from them is that they feel so relaxed, they feel calmer, and when they come back the next time, we do download. Okay, what's happened since I saw you last time? And there's always, it's like they're up leveling, that things are changing. Um, so yeah, it's just brilliant.
That is
It's work I love
wonderful.
doing. Yeah.
And do you find most of clients that do come to you already are into energy work, or do you find people that have come to you don't know much about it at all, and then they're finding out for the first time, or do you get a mix of both? Like, what is it like for you?
It's been recently, I found, because I work with women too, that they're at a crisis point, and somebody has mentioned to them, I think you need to go and see a Reiki person, or you need to have some energy work done. They might have gone and had a reading, for instance, with someone, a psychic medium, for instance, or maybe a friend who's had Reiki. So I've had referrals where they've had a Reiki and it was new to them, and they said, you need to go see Frances.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of people that are new to this. Yes, yeah,
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, thank you. Is there anything else you want to add that, you know, right now you feel like whoever's watching this,
yeah.
especially if it's a parent, but anyone really who's watching this right now, is there one piece of something that you would like to add for them that you think they might need to hear?
Um, just recognize that each and every one of us has a blueprint, that we all have a reason why we're here, why we're alive. And we all have a gift, an innate gift that we're here to share with the world. So when you chose to have a baby and choose to bring this child into the world, it wasn't by accident. That none of us are an accident. And that's why I really have a great compassion for the human condition. It's when we understand that there's reasons why we are or do what we do, and that when we understand them, then we can look to support that both for ourselves and also for our children, and that our children are here to be the leaders of the future. So that as parents get older, it's our children that are leading us into this new world that we're evolving into.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, that whatever your child is struggling with or what your teen is struggling with, once you come to understand what's beneath it, and once we bring balance back, you'll just find that your connection with your child will be just so much better. Yeah.
Wonderful. And I will have all the details of Frances to be able to connect with her at the end of this video. So reach out, reach out. And you're in Melbourne.
I
Um,
am, yes.
but also
Yep.
she does work on Zoom, so you can reach out to her either way. Thank you
Mm.
so much, beautiful heart. I so appreciate you. And if anyone watching this has any questions, just shoot us an email and we will get back to you. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you,
On
Mary
the other
Lou.
side. Bye.
Bye.